Welcome to the 2025 VBCC Connect, a day of learning, where your feedback has shaped our agenda. You asked for true learning sessions, and we're going to deliver. This year, we are committed to elevating your Sage experience and helping you maximize your Sage tools like never before. My name is Kelly Bergman, and I'm excited to introduce you to Ken Knight, our Senior Solutions Consultant. Today, he's going to be presenting Sage CRM. That's all I have, so I'm going to let Ken take the floor.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this session on Sage CRM. I'm going to go ahead and go off camera because otherwise I will distract myself. Okay, so Sage CRM. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of an overview. For those of you who have seen some of my webinars on this will be a bit of a repeat, but I do want to make sure for those who have not been exposed to CRM products in general or Sage CRM specifically, they have some context for what I'm going to be talking about. So let's get started and talk about CRM software in general. So what does CRM software do? Well, first and foremost, CRM software, whether Sage or otherwise, eliminates silos of information. The example that I always use for this is, let's say that you have two salespeople, John and Jane, and for whatever unfortunate reason, John goes on an extended medical leave. Well, now you're saying, hey, Jane, can you start taking care of John's prospects as well as John's clients? If John has been maintaining information on his own computer, in his own email, or even handwritten in his own notebook, it's going to be extremely difficult for Jane to pick up and run with those prospects and customers that John has been interacting with. However, if you are utilizing a CRM system and John and Jane and everyone else in your organization has been keeping notes and documents and communications with customers, prospects, etc., in a CRM system, now everybody can have access to what's going on. I was working with a client of mine where we're configuring their CRM so that it works best for them. And one of the owners said, you know what? That's simply risk mitigation. If someone gets hit by the proverbial bus, we have all of the information that we need as a business. Concurrent with that, obviously, is going to provide greater visibility of what's going on with your customers and prospects if the information is all in one central location. It also provides for optimized workflows for customer service, sales, and marketing teams. So let's drill into that just a little bit more. Whenever we are talking to someone, whether an existing client or a prospect, about software, be it an ERP system, CRM, or perhaps even an add-on like document management, we always start with what are their desired outputs and or what are their business needs and goals. Then we work backwards into the processes and procedures that they're going to have to implement to gather the information or to perform the actions that are required to give them the desired outputs or to meet those needs or goals. From there, we get into the software. What software is going to be the best fit and how should it be configured to meet your needs? So I wouldn't tell anyone just adopt a CRM product because why not? We've got it. Let's do it. Identify what your needs are first, and then you can determine how best to set the system up to meet those needs. In customer service, CRM will allow you to track everything related to customers. As I had mentioned, communications, notes, documents, etc. You can track everything related to sales orders. In fact, one of my most successful CRM implementations, which I've only been with Rackus Blum for a little under 2 years, so this was with a different reseller, but I was implementing it in a customer service capacity for a company that provides rebar for huge highway projects. So if you think about the amount of rebar that goes into a big highway project that's where they're pouring concrete, be it a bridge or a road deck, there are dozens and dozens of flatbed trucks of rebar being delivered. The customer service team at this particular customer, every sales order was a job, and they utilized operations management, and there were multiple work tickets on each job to represent the various phases. But they would track in CRM everything that was related to that job: notes, communications, documents related to the shipments, stand-in copies of bills of lading. Anything related to that specific job could be found by pulling up that sales order in Sage CRM. So they could find everything there. And it didn't matter if the end user, their customer, had a question and the primary customer service person they were working with was out that day. Any of them could access that job and look up the information. There's also the ability to track in Sage CRM and in many CRMs support cases, case management. This is very useful for dealing with service and or product problems. So if a customer calls in and says, hey, I'm having an issue with the product you sold me, or I need some help with something, it would be possible for someone in a customer service role to take the information and then assign it to someone who would take care of that for the end user, their customer. Sales. Oftentimes, when people think of CRM packages, they think of sales only, where we're talking about tracking leads, opportunities, pipeline tracking, forecasts, etc. And certainly CRM packages can do that. But I think if you bring into account the capabilities for customer service as well as marketing that I'm going to talk to, it's a much broader set of capabilities than simply sales and sales pipelines. So on the marketing side, one of the things that good CRM products will bring to the table, like Sage CRM, are cradle to grave campaign tracking. Whether you're doing a email marketing blast, whether you're going to a trade show, whether or not you are taking out an ad in a trade publication, it really doesn't matter. You have the ability in CRM to set that effort up as a campaign, indicate how much it's going to cost you to do that campaign, whether it's the trade show booth, inclusive of hotels and meals and $500 for the electrician to plug in your extension cord, whatever it is. Here's how much that campaign is going to cost. Then you can track the leads that come from that campaign, the leads that then turn into opportunities, the opportunities that then turn into sales. So you have the ability to say, hey, that trade show might have cost us $20,000 to do in total. However, at the end of the day, we ended up getting $100,000 in sales. Definitely worth doing. And as I had mentioned, part of that is mass email marketing. And we'll talk about that once we get into the software. So let's talk about Sage CRM specifically. Sage CRM is an on-premise CRM solution. It is not out of the box in the cloud, but it can be hosted. In fact, that's the way we at Rackus Blum utilize our Sage CRM, is we have it hosted. Sage CRM is browser-based, so when properly configured, it can be accessed from a smartphone or a tablet. The system will automatically reconfigure the screen to fit the device, so you don't have to download an app or anything like that on a smartphone. Now, we would need to work with your IT or the hosting firm to make sure that that kind of external access is done in a secure manner. And I won't get into the technical details on that, but you want to make sure that nobody can just hit the website that represents your CRM and get in and get all of your data. So it needs an SSL certificate. It needs to be set up on separate servers that are secure, etc. Now, If you are on Sage 100, you most likely own Sage CRM with a single user license and an out-of-the-box integration with Sage 100. There is also a more robust third-party Sage 100 integration that's available also. It brings a little bit more information out of Sage into CRM than the out-of-the-box one does. And there is also integration with Sage Intacct. So if you're utilizing Sage Intacct, we can connect Sage CRM to it. And lastly, Sage CRM can be implemented as thinly or as robustly as you'd like. That's entirely up to you. If you only want to utilize those aspects of it that touch customer service and you don't care anything about marketing or sales, that's fine. Or if you just want to do the sales aspect of it, that's fine as well. It is entirely up to you. So with that, let's take a look at the software itself. This is what Sage CRM looks like. As I had mentioned, it is browser-based. I happen to be running this in Firefox on my computer. When you come into Sage CRM, you're going to see a dashboard. This is the generic administrator dashboard that comes with the software, provides links to help files, to the Sage Community Hub. You can look at stories of how other Sage customers are utilizing Sage CRM successfully. And you have a link to the Sage CRM video channel. Now, I will tell you, if you're interested in investigating Sage CRM more deeply, just in terms of how it could be used or how to configure it if you're already using it, go to YouTube. This is an international product. It was originally developed in Northern Ireland. It's owned by Sage Corporate and used throughout the world. If you go to YouTube, there is a very, very strong presence of Sage CRM with a lot of informational videos out on YouTube. So feel free to check that out. Now, in talking about dashboards, I'm going to flip over to a sales dashboard. With this sales dashboard, what you are seeing are individual little panels that are called gadgets in Sage CRM world. And with these gadgets, you'll see I'm looking at opportunities, my calendar, my opportunities. I'm also taking a look at my contacts and the companies that are all assigned to me. You can create custom dashboards in the system, either from scratch or by utilizing a template. And if you're an administrator, you can create dashboard templates that other people could leverage off of, and you can create custom gadgets. So you can really customize these dashboards to be whatever you would like. And with custom gadgets, we're talking about calendars, charts, list views, main menu item views, notifications, all sorts of different gadgets that you can create leveraging the information in Sage CRM. You can even link it to a website or HTML page. And I have in the past utilized HTML pages that were generated out of Sage Intelligence or Sage Alerts and Workflow, because both of those products can automatically create HTML pages that you could then put into a dashboard in your Sage CRM. Let me just go ahead and refresh that. That should get me out of there. Okay, it's one of the nice things of being browser-based. Refresh does wonders. So the entities that exist in Sage CRM, we're talking about things such as companies. And note that if we integrate this with your Sage 100, it will automatically send over your customers into Sage CRM as companies, any associated contacts in as persons, and any addresses in as, obviously, addresses. But a company in Sage CRM does not have to equal a customer in Sage 100. You can have many, many different companies set up in Sage CRM that are simply prospects. They don't have to be a customer in Sage 100, and you can actually do quotes to prospect companies in CRM without setting them up as a customer in Sage 100. Persons obviously are going to be people that are affiliated with companies. Cases and solutions. This is what I was talking about relative to support cases. If you had a customer call in and they were having an issue, you could open up a support case. Support cases can have escalation rules applied. So you can say, if this has not been resolved in 48 hours, generate and send an email to a supervisor saying, hey, this case is still open. And you can have solutions where you can maintain your own knowledge base of solutions to common problems that people will call in with, and you can link the solution to the case. Opportunities are just that, sales opportunities, and I'll show you in a moment how those feed into your sales pipeline. Leads for all the different CRM products that I've worked with, and Sage CRM is the 5th one that I've implemented and been certified with. Leads to me have always been a name on a list. That you go to a trade show, they provide you with a list of the people who either attended the show or swiped their badge at your booth, or perhaps you purchased a list. Those can be loaded into the system very easily, and then you can qualify or disqualify that lead. If it's qualified, you can convert the lead into a company with associated person and opportunity. If it's disqualified, it's just a dead lead. And as I'll show you with the Sage 100 integration, orders and quotes are housed inside opportunities. That's just the way the system works. And obviously, we can do communications like appointments, tasks, emails, things such as that. You'll notice that we have a My CRM and a Team CRM. Sage CRM operates in the concept of teams. So you could perhaps have a customer service team and a sales team. And then users are assigned to teams. Most of the time, my clients don't utilize teams very much. That rebar company did what I just said, a customer service and a sales team. But since we're trying to eliminate silos of information, oftentimes people will just say, hey, everybody's part of the one big corporate team. But with my CRM, this is going to show me my dashboard, which we're looking at, my calendar, those persons that I have chosen to be a contact for me, calendar list, etc. These options you're going to see are reflected across the ribbon here as well. So if I go into calendar, this is going to be my calendar. It's on January because I was playing around a little bit earlier, but I can go ahead and say, hey, let's forward this to today. The calendar list is going to show me a list view that is sortable and filterable, almost like Excel, of the things that I have to do. Leads are going to show me all of the leads that are assigned to me. And I actually only have one lead here. Outbound calls would be outbound calls that were put to me through a wave activity related to a campaign. So you can actually launch a campaign and have it automatically generate to-dos for users in CRM. Here are my opportunities with my pipeline. So if I want to filter it to those that are still in the lead stage, by clicking on that, here are the 3 that are in the lead stage. I can put in forecasts for myself. I can see cases that are assigned to me, solutions that are available to me. Shared documents are a library of standard documents. Think ad slicks. Instead of having them on some sort of shared drive that everyone accesses, you can actually put them into the library of CRM, and they then are available for people to attach to emails and send out. So it used to be, you had the closet with the printed ad slicks and you'd go in and pick the ones that you wanted to use. Nobody does that anymore, but you might have PDF files or standard documents that you'll send out to a person. Team CRM then gives me the ability to see the calendar of the members of my team. All of the leads assigned to members of my team, opportunities, cases, solutions, etc. With reports, there are a ton of canned reports. It's very easy to create your own, and if time allows, I will come back to that later. Marketing. So with marketing, this is where you have the ability, as I said, to set up campaigns. So if I look at this website marketing campaign as an example, you'll notice that we have our start. Here is our budget. Here are our accumulated actual costs. We have the specific waves that are established and the associated wave activities. What you can do then with a marketing campaign is you can assign it to leads. So if a lead comes in that is related to the Panoply website marketing campaign, we can tag that to the lead, which will then flow into any associated opportunity and flow into any associated sale. Along with that, you have the ability to do mass email marketing. I don't have this set up in my demo environment, but you have the ability to link Sage CRM to MailChimp. What you would do is create the group that you want to email to within Sage CRM, upload that to MailChimp, create your campaign in MailChimp because it has all the tools to make the good looking emails and put the links in and everything like that, and then launch the campaign. Because Sage CRM is linked with MailChimp, you will see back in Sage CRM all of the metrics that are available in this kind of mass email marketing, i.e., who opened it? What did they click on? You know, your opens, your click-throughs, all of those metrics you can see in Sage CRM. And since you generated the list in Sage CRM, it will actually tell you who did it. So if one of the people that you sent to was knight@v-bcc.com, and I opened the email and I clicked on a link, you'll see that in Sage CRM. As far as search features, you can literally just start typing. It's known as a quick find. Okay, so this is going to show me American Business Computers and American Business Futures. But you also have the ability over here to say, I want to find a company. And if I start with American here, it's going to show me all of the companies that begin with the word American. I can wildcard it by putting a % sign in front of it, kind of a SQL thing. And now I have American anywhere in the company name. It is very easy to add user-defined fields and to modify screens in Sage CRM. So if we wanted to add something else to this find screen, like perhaps you wanted state, we could very easily add that here. I could even show you guys how to do it. It's not that difficult. A little bit like custom office in Sage 100. But we could add state into the search screen, and that would then become another thing that you could search on. Notifications over here. When you have escalations or notifications set up, you can do those both via email as well as having them show up here. And this would have a red dot or star next to it that would say, hey, you got a notification. You can do favorites in the system. So if I come over to American Business Futures and I star them, they're not going to show up under my favorites. And lastly, across the top, we have our recents. And this will show me recent campaigns I've been in, recent cases, recent companies, leads, opportunities, orders, etc. And if I wanted to go to one of those, I easily could. So with ABF, let's take a quick look about some of the information that you can track by entity. This is going to be my summary information. This is linked to a Sage 100. You notice that it's Sage 100 company ABC, and the actual customer name is ABC Distribution and Service Corp. Or actually, that's the company name. I'm sorry. Customer name is going to be American Business Futures. On the quick look, we're going to see the most recent communications, opportunities, and cases. If there are other things you would like to see, again, these screens are modifiable. I'm going to see a company level dashboard. And the nice thing with how these are set up in some of these gadgets, you can set them up so that you have actions. So if I actually want to get to an opportunity by clicking on this, it will take me to the associated opportunity. I can use the back buttons. It is a browser, or simply click on the company name to get back to where I was before. You can maintain notes, and the system will add certain notes, like you'll notice that an on-the-fly order has been added for the customer. Communications, so we can do tasks, appointments, emails. You have the ability to attach documents or images or anything by dropping files here and attaching them. You can also do that on the Documents tab. One of the nice thing with this is it can function as a kind of quasi document management system because you have the ability to put a file in here. And if you don't save it as complete or final, if you leave it in, say, a pending status, then you have the ability to check that out, bring it down to your laptop, make edits to it, and load it back in. And if you have the document checked out, if someone else goes to check it out, it'll say, sorry, you can't do anything right now. It's being edited by Ken. And it is something as simple as, let's see if I can pull this off without being too crazy here. Hang on, I'm just going to move this off screen for a second, and I'm going to grab this test Excel document. I'm going to drag it over to the drop files here area. Why does it keep doing? Oh, there it is. Yep, it's the document attachment. Okay. So, nothing there. This is going to be a test document. I can give it details if I need to. Okay, what team does it belong to? My status on this is going to be pending. That is fine. I'm not going to create any follow-ups on that. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save that. So now if I come over to my documents, as well as on the communications, here is my test document. And if I wanted to see that document, I could click on the link button, and it's going to ask me to download and take a look at it. Again, that client that I had that sold rebar, they attached a ton of documents to a sales order. They actually do get uploaded into the library for CRM. So they are saved on that server. Okay, obviously, for any given company, we're going to have opportunities, any support cases, people or the persons that are at a given company, addresses, relationships allow you to establish links between different companies. So let's say that you have a parent company and its subsidiaries. You can establish that relationship. Or perhaps you have people in your CRM who are on the board of directors of multiple companies. Or you have a company and you've got their suppliers. You can establish those kinds of links utilizing relationships in the system. Phone, email information, documents, self-service is interesting. This is where you would set up for this company. Can they utilize self-service? Because one of the things that Sage CRM comes with is a sample self-service website that you could link to your website. And if someone goes on and says, hey, I'm having a problem, it will create a case in CRM. Or if they say, hey, I'd like more information, it will create a lead in CRM. It's simply a sample site that we could provide to your web developer to leverage to put this information back into your Sage CRM. And on the Inquiries tab, this is where you're going to have links to Sage 100 Business Insight Explorer views. So this takes me right to a Business Insights Explorer view for customer ABF. Now, let's say that for customer ABF, I wanted to go ahead and I wanted to put a quote in for them. That is as easy as saying, okay, I want to do a new quote. And what I'm going to get is, as I had mentioned, quotes and orders are housed inside opportunities. I'm just going to take my Sage CRM opportunity and assign a value and click proceed. And I will get the Sage 100 sales order entry screen with customer ABF and quote already selected. You'll notice here is the link to the opportunity. I'll come over here. Let's just pick an item. That looks good for my quote. And I hit accept. Now, if I come over to my opportunities, you'll see that I have for today an on-the-fly quote. If I click into that opportunity and come over to my quotes tab, I can actually see the quote. If I need to edit it, I can edit it from here. Let's come over here and just put in a comment. Would be nice if I could type. Now, this being browser-based, I have two options. I can hop to another tab or I can hit refresh. Either one will work. And here is my comment. So it's a real-time integration between Sage 100 and Sage CRM. You have a lot of options in here as far as printing and sending things. I have had some clients that will go ahead and merge quotes and things in CRM to Word documents or PDF documents and email them out of Sage CRM. Others will simply print it utilizing the crystal form generator that's built into Sage 100. Either way will work. It's really what fits your business the best. Now I would have the ability here from Sage CRM to go ahead and promote this to an order if I wanted to. And that will now be an order. Now, I'll note that on the quote itself, I have notes and I have communications and I have documents. So on many different entity levels, I can keep notes, communications, and documents. If I come back up to the opportunity, I've got notes, communications, documents, as well as tracking information. Here's my proposal submitted. But since I upgraded that or promoted it from a quote to an order, it's no longer on the quote side of life, it's on the order side of life. And it is referencing the order number in Sage 100. Now you can go both directions. If I go into Sage 100 and I say that I want to enter a sales order, and let's pick this order number and let's go to somebody completely different, like Shepherd Motor Works. You'll notice down below, I have the ability to link it to a CRM opportunity. I'm going to assign it. Pick a different item code. So now if I come back into my CRM, and let's take a look for Shepherd. If I look at my opportunities under Shepherd, here is my on-the-fly order 212. And I can actually take a look at the order itself. So again, real-time integration, talking back and forth. If you put a quote into CRM for a company that is not yet a customer in Sage 100, what it does is it puts it on a customer that we have set up during when we set up the integration that is utilized for the Sage CRM integration. So you'll notice that in Sage 100, we have a customer called Sage CRM Prospects. All of those prospect quotes go into Sage 100 under that one customer as a quote. If you then promote that company to being a customer, then that quote will move under them. And if you promote the quote to being an order, then it will do that under their customer ID in Sage 100. Okay, back to Sage CRM. One of the things that you'll note is not only can you add notes all over the place and documents and communications related to the various entities, these things do have the ability to roll up to a certain extent. So if I add a new note for Alan Shepard, if I come over to Shepard Motor Works and take a look at their notes, here is the note for Alan. So any notes that I put on a person will roll up to the company level. If you choose to do so, that is a setup option. Now, let's talk a little bit about workflows and escalations. You can do quite a bit. And I'm going to go over to our administration side of life, advanced customization, and let's take a look at some of the workflows. So if I look at an opportunity workflow, okay, this is defined in the system where you have the various steps. And again, I don't want to get too far down in the weeds on this, but basically you're just going through the various if-then states that an opportunity can go through and how that manifests itself. Let me see if I can find this specific one. Okay, this is a, let me come over to, that's for a lead. I can convert this into an opportunity. That's not the one that I was looking for, but there is a lead workflow here. Let me see. Let me go into my opportunities here. Actually, let's do leads. Let's go into this one. And it's not quite showing up the way I'd want it to, but how the workflows work is on the right-hand side. The actions that you have defined in the workflow will show up as green and highlighted. And when you select an action, then what it will do is automatically follow what you have established in the workflow and create follow-up tasks, change values on here as far as your status, where you're at in it, etc. So it makes it very easy to simply go ahead and follow your process as you defined it for a lead, a prospect, etc. And I'm sorry that I wasn't quite prepped to show that, but that I must have done some things in my demo data before. So let's talk a little bit about reports then also. Again, the system comes with a ton of reports, but let's say that I just want to go in and do a general report. Okay, and I'm going to create a new report, and we'll call this Ken's company list. We'll make this a report type of list. You can do crosstab and historical. The main thing is that you can choose what source view you want to use. And there are many different source views defined. On kind of the techie side, if you have someone in your staff or an IT firm that is good with SQL, you can create custom SQL views because this does utilize Microsoft SQL on the back end. And those custom views then can be available to this report generator. So I'm going to simply find my company summary view. And it's going to be a standard report with grids. And when you create a custom report, you're telling the system what fields from that view do I want to add to the report contents? Which ones do I want to add to the search criteria? And which ones do I want to sort on or group by? So very basically here, I could say, okay, out of company, I would like to get company name, add that to the report contents. Out of the company address, let's add our address 1, address 2, city, state. Let's get our zip code. And let's say that that's good enough. We go ahead and continue. Give it a name, give some header settings if we choose to do so. Save it, and now we have Ken's company list, and I can go ahead and run that. When I run it, I can run it to the screen, export it to PDF, or export it out to CSV or to XLSX. I'll just run it to screen. And here's my report. As simple as that. And it is 62 pages long. But very, very easy to create custom reports within the system. So with that, that pretty much ends my discussion and overview of Sage CRM. Kelly, I suppose we could open this up to questions if you've got any, or if anyone has one,
I
please feel
have
free.
one question so far. Somebody sounds like they already use CRM. They get a message that says, "Are you sure you want to leave this screen?" every time she pushes a button to move around.
Are you sure you want to leave this screen? That sounds like it's probably a security setup within the browser, because oftentimes you need to set up Sage CRM and tell it that this is a trusted website. So that could very well be the reason. And sometimes it can vary from browser to browser, whether you're using Firefox, Chrome, Edge, whichever. But I would say that check and see if in whatever browser you're choosing to use, that you have your CRM URL. Mine is that. Make sure that you've got that as a trusted website.
Perfect. And if you have any other questions about that, or that's not the issue, just reach out to Ken. He's our guy. He
Yeah.
actually maintains our internal CRM. He's my godsend. I couldn't lie. I'd like to thank Ken for all the time he took to get this ready for you guys today. Excellent presentation. I learned some things. Also, I'd like to thank all of the attendees. We know your time is valuable, and we sure are appreciative that you chose to spend some of that time with us today.